So I have to admit, I am not somebody who has shopped a lot at Harbor Freight, but in the days of COVID and being broke, I guess we all have to do what we have to do, and Harbor Freight offers some great deals on tools. Whether or not they're effective is yet to be seen. But this little drain thing here is only $15.99 at Harbor Freight. Not a bad deal, assuming if you go to Lowe's for a similar product, you're going to pay about 30 bucks for it. So I'm excited to see how well this thing performs. We'll find out here shortly. Okay, puts me right at 25 feet. You get the drill bit, just kind of work it around and let it clean it out a little bit. Oh boy. Not sure how effective this was, but what I'll do now is put my drain back together and give it a shot. See what happens. Okay, now I'm just gonna run the sink and see what happens. I'm actually going to try and fill the sink a little bit and then let a bunch of water rush through at once. Okay, so I think the snake worked fine from Harbor Freight, but I still couldn't get it to drain. And I had scooped the water out, and when it got down to about drain level, I walked away, came back, and it had drained out, and it had been sitting there for over 30 minutes. So I figured, you know, there's only one other thing that I could think of that might be causing this problem. There's 2 drains in here. When I got the water down low enough, I think there was enough air pushing to allow the air to escape. This is an air admittance valve, which is also about the drain level behind the sink. Normally you would try and vent your plumbing through your roof, but this house is very old. Why they didn't run a air vent outside, I don't know. But the air admittance valves, I've used them in bathroom sinks and stuff as well. When I took it out and I shook it, I couldn't hear anything. I think this was jammed. We had had some awful smells in the house recently. We just figured something died underneath the house, the crawl space. But I'm thinking now that it could have been an air admittance valve situation. So I took this out and washed it, and I put it on the end of a PVC pipe and blew into it and sucked into it, which was kind of gross. It seems to be working fine now, so I'm going to screw this back in and just run some water and see if it stays unclogged. If it stays unclogged, I think I've solved my problem. If not, who knows?
It's going like Daddy.
I tell you what, this job of being a professional homeowner, you learn something new every day. I would definitely recommend this thing. It did the job. I think, you know, with the air valve being stuck like that, it could have been a combination of things. If I did have a backup in the line, when it flooded, because that valve is just kind of right there at the drain level and it flooded above the drains into the sink, which is a pretty deep sink. It could have caused the valve itself to close up and get hung up, and then some of the gunk from the water just kept it from being able to open and close successfully after that. I'm not really sure what the problem was there, but once I took that air vent off and cleaned it out and put it back on, it seems to be draining fine now. So it could have been a combination. The snake could have been more effective than I thought, but it definitely works. I mean, little 25-foot drain snake or drain auger, whatever it is you want to call these things. I always called them snakes, but anyway, find a good place to put this for next time.